You want to feel deeply connected and awakened? I know you do, or you wouldn't be here. Often we can find ourselves stalled in our practices, like we've hit a plateau in expansion. And today, you're going to learn the number one thing you need to do to take it to the next level of depth. I'm Brianna Borton, and I help people awaken to their highest selves. Subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get alerted when I release a new video every Monday. I've worked with hundreds of people in my Love Rising community through workshops and trainings and one-on-one with people to help them access their inner wisdom, to open their intuition and to awaken. And even though there's so much work we do through this one thing I'm going to teach you today is a thing that I've seen make the biggest impact again and again. And I want this for you to feel expanded, awake, and connected. So here's the thing. Many people seek spiritual paths to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel like there's a place to turn for answers. And that's true in its own way. But in order to really deepen, we have to be willing to move past the comforts of flowy dresses and flower crowns and crystals and move in to the gritty work of our souls. And this requires us to be willing to be with discomfort and not shy away from it, and actually to move toward it, to embrace it, to be curious about whatever it is that's there when we feel that discomfort. And here's how. Number one is to get resourced for the journey. Just like if you were going to head out into the desert, you wouldn't just put on your flip-flops and take off, right? You would make sure that you have the essential ingredients that you need for success. So this is why we need to get resourced. We need to pack our bag full of water and a tent and warmth and all of the things so that we can be really successful in this journey. So this is the same. We want to get resourced before we really move into this. So what do I mean by getting resourced? Here I'm really talking about making sure that some of the things are online for you, meaning that you are getting good enough sleep so that you're well rested, making sure that you're eating food that supports your body and your health, making sure that you have community to lean into so that you can have that source of support when things get challenging. And I also think it's really important for most of us to have teachers that are true and authentic and loving and will hold us when we go to the depths of our discomfort. So this is a really essential step to get resourced. So number two is to slow down. So we could probably spend most of our lives doing number one and number two, but I know because you're committed to this path that you're going to really make sure that you do number one and number two so that you can get to the rest of these steps. So two, slow down. Really what I'm talking about here is taking the time to actually explore what's happening for you, to slow down enough so that you're not just skimming the surface of life, kind of like getting through, right? But starting to really slow down into the rhythm of what's underneath here. Making sure that there's spaciousness, making sure that you have time for meditation, making sure that you're getting really present with this moment right here and now. This slowing down process is the only way that we can access number three. And so number three is that you're going to see what's there. What is underneath all of that noise? If you don't push it down or numb it out or ignore it, there's something here for you. And I want you to take the time to really be with what's right here. And likely you've dipped your toe in it before. It's probably not something that you're going to be like, oh, I had no idea. Sometimes it is. But often you dipped your toe in it and then you like lickety split, turned on the Netflix and ate a pint of ice cream or whatever you do to remove yourself from discomfort. You likely have felt this feeling before, even if you weren't really aware of it. But here in number three, we're gonna open it all up and really see what it is. And that moves us to number four. Once we see what it is and we can really feel it, allow that feeling to be without control, without judgment, without needing it to be any different, and without thinking it's bad or good or the end or the beginning or, all these ways in which we can label it. Just see if you can be with the sensation. And likely it's gonna be uncomfortable. That's the whole idea, is that there's this whole level of what we would normally call discomfort that we numb out and skip over. And when we are unwilling to be with it, we don't get to go to the deeper layers because it is a little uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable mostly because we're not used to it, because we haven't spent time in it, because we believe that without the control that we normally have, which is how we live most of our lives, controlling the situations, controlling how we look, controlling how we behave, without all of that, it can feel like things are out of control. And that out of control feeling can be really uncomfortable. But go back to your resources, number one, right? So that you can lean into that stable structure that you've created for yourself, and then see how much you can surrender to this feeling. And then that brings us to number 5. Once you've surrendered to this feeling and you really can allow this uncomfortable feeling, then it's time to get really curious and see the threads of love. So we're not looking to dismantle it or take it away or kill it or however you might see that. We're really just looking to feel it fully and then see within it the threads of love. And the threads of love are everywhere, so they're definitely in this too. And often how it appears energetically is almost like a web or like little threads that have been woven through it that are lighter colored. Sometimes they're golden, often they're golden. Sometimes they're another color. So, whatever you see, don't be like, well, they're not golden and Brianna said they'd be golden. See what you see. But start to see what's there. And often we more feel it than see it, depends on who you are. But once you start to notice those threads of love and how they are interwoven into even this uncomfortable feeling, and then see if you can allow them to grow, either to multiply themselves, grow from the ends, thicken, brighten, whatever that is, and allow those threads of love to really start to infuse even fuller this feeling of discomfort. Once you've done all of this, right, once you've gone through these 5 steps, you'll really know how to be with discomfort. And this is really kind of the first step in some other steps of going deeper, but you're not able to go any deeper until you're completely willing to surrender to this uncomfortable feeling that's right here. It's essential on our path that we learn how to do this. And number 6 is just to repeat. Repeat this, repeat this, repeat this. Do this again and again and again. We're gonna really learn how to be besties with discomfort. My mother always told me to never get too comfortable because that's when we stop growing and start dying. So don't get too comfortable and get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. And if you want to really get in and stay in your spiritual practice, I encourage you to join me in my Love Rising Collective, a beautiful online community where we really do the work of our souls to grow and transform. There's a link for it in the description below. And if you liked this video, please like it and share it with your friends, and check out these other videos I created just for you, like this one with a full moon meditation, and this one all about letting go of negative energy. I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. I am sending you so much love.